most accomplished fighters. Both at one point undisputed champions, boasting decade-long reigns atop the sport, an ocean apart. At the height of his career, Roy Jones simply had no equal in the ring. Virtuoso performer so masterful, he toyed with most opponents.
Roy Jones tattoos Brennan, and then Jones says, look, you want more? Okay.
Disposing of them with bursts of unmatched hand speed and shocking power.
Jones gets his vindication.
It all changed for Jones after shocking back-to-back disasters in 2004.
He takes a right hand and a left hand, and he's been knocked out again.
Before defeating Felix Trinidad in his January return to center stage.
What a performance now by Jones.
Joe Calzaghe was quietly but efficiently building his own legacy in the division just below Jones.
And Fredo just not fast enough to deal with.
Then cemented his legacy in his April U.S. debut against Bernard Hopkins.
And suddenly Calzaghe is landing his straight left right down the tube. Here comes the one.
Now at last, these decorated champions come together face to face.
I'm the example of a true comeback. Can't nobody ever keep me down. And you write that down in your book when I die.
Two greats with Hall of Fame records.
I have a lot of respect for Roy Jones, but there's no way he's going to win this fight. I refuse to lose. It's simple as that.
Two legends eager to prove themselves once more. Calzaghe Jones is moments away.
Joe Calzaghe against Roy Jones. Professional fight of his career. Calzaghe looking to make a bigger and better impression here than was the case in his American debut in April. Olympic competition, given a silver medal instead of a pound champion. Long reigning 100-pounder niche moved up. You see the ace with the challenge. Some of the bigger wins on Jones's Calzaghe. Max Keller, what Max said.
World professional defending undefeated Calzaghe.
Come out fighting.
Before the opening fight.
He thinks safety.
You know, if he threw a few more.
38 knockouts in 52 wins.
So far, a counter right hand.
But he also gives up. Calzaghe lands inside. Calzaghe is landing his stuff.
Well, to the elbows. I haven't seen too many clean shots.
The Jones is quicker in the center of the ring, and down goes Calzaghe. Just as he was down in the first round against Hopkins, he much more badly hurt than against Hopkins, and fighting rather than trying to get away. That he can keep fighting with Jones after taking a big shot. And he goes forward, waiting in. With which to begin the fight.
But this is not something that Jones. Here we see Roy Jones land a jab in the eye, which really obstructed the vision of Calzaghe. And then as Calzaghe was going down, he got hit with a punch that Jones just shot in anticipation of where his head was going to be. Perfect punch.
Although it looked like he hit him with his wrist,
yeah,
his forearm.
He's probably been down about 4 times in fights, which shows that he does have the ability to come back. And at this stage right away,
down in the first round against Chris Eubank, won the fight. Down in the round, has shown the capacity to come back.
Joe Calzaghe, who I thought was the fastest light heavyweight around.
Can he do it over the long stretch of the fight if Calzaghe can make it go round? And here's what will hurt Jones most if it keeps up. When he leans against the ropes and puts
this pace himself, because Joe's going to go at this pace on his defense. But Roy scoring a knockdown is one thing, but a knockout is different.
That's inside. Clear, it's a different fight in the center of the ring than when they go to the ropes. It's under him now, and a greater ability to withstand what Jones throws. Jones lands another right hand.
This point of the fight, I think Roy Jones is making Joe Calzaghe look like shots. This, I think, Roy's advantage.
Blood trickling down Calzaghe's nose. Jones backing into the ropes and giving Calzaghe a chance to just throw away. Many of the punches blocked in the second round by Harold Letterman gave the round in which he hopes to dominate the second half of the fight. Good body shot by Calzaghe. Upstairs by Calzaghe.
Over the last half round or so, Calzaghe is landing much score for him, Joe Calzaghe.
Calzaghe unfazed. Goes at him with his hands held low.
You know, Roy's punches are much more flashy and much more powerful. But, you know, unless he
throws
really...
one punch at a time, and Calzaghe throws 6.
And that's what I'm saying, and I don't know if he's ever fought anybody like this. Calzaghe is not just, he's a big man. You know, it's very, very difficult to just take punches from a tall guy like that.
Calzaghe showboating in the center of the ring.
That with an opponent against Roy Jones.
By Jones. Hard body shot before that.
And this is what I expected Roy to do, to just cover up, walk him down, and try to force, burn himself out by throwing so many punches while he's blocking them.
Calzaghe taking Jones's punches much better now. And landing when he fires back. Out of the way with the right hand there.
With his hands down.
Watch the shoulder.
I don't think either fighter has ever fought anyone with the speed.
Calzaghe is trying to put the judges that he has weathered the storm, that he understands what's up with Jones now, that he's not fazed by what happened in round 1, and that he can swamp Jones with punch count from here. He has dominated round 3.
Calzaghe throwing a lot of punches, showboating, dropping his hands. And I think it's really not that they're showboating. This is
Performance. I mean, the guy is so good. Just incredible third round. Anyway, 2-1, Roy Jones.
I think you nailed it when you said Calzaghe's showboating. He has to dig himself out of a hole on the cards, yes, but also he is not showing ill effects of the punch and that he is, in fact, the guy in charge.
Roy with punches, and to me, outside of the first round, he's won, even though you may not have given it to him the other rounds because he just out.
And Jones is slowing down. Now Jones
down by a forearm or a wrist. No part of the glove. Actually,
4th round. But again, he's digging behind in the first and maybe the second rounds. Never know when Jones may lay in. Question is, did Jones's power to such an extent that he won't be shocked if he gets hit again?
Look at the history of Calzaghe. He's always been that way. He would get hurt early and lead in his ring job. Roy's never experienced this. And I think that the fact that Joe can do this all night.
Calzaghe to slow down.
No.
Kessler waited for it to happen, and Calzaghe just kept building the tempo. And now he's attacking Jones with impunity in the corner. And throwing.
Beating Roy in every way at this point here.
Good hard right hand by Jones.
With his hands down.
It may not be wise. He would now be ahead in the fight.
If you're a Roy Jones fan, I think you have to be hoping that he catches Joe coming in with something hard, particularly when Joe is standing as he is now with his guard down. And maybe show Roy that he doesn't respect his power.
Good straight left hand by Calzaghe, 3 right hands to the body. This was the basic equation coming into the fight. A fighter who is comfortable throwing 75 punches around against a fighter who customarily throws 30.
Roy's contact punches, but he cannot hit Calzaghe.
There's a hard. Calzaghe comes back working the body. Calzaghe did anything really solid. It's another hard right hand shot by Jones. This round may be on the table with 50 seconds to go. Calzaghe begins to try to apply his volume formula to it.
Well, I would have to give Roy so far this round here the way it's going. At this point.
Why would Roy allow someone to stand in front of him with his hands down when he can punch is beyond me.
Well, that's his way of trying to make Calzaghe get tired.
Calzaghe lands a big left hand.
Yep.
Now the round belongs to the Welshman.
Yep.
Jones lands a
beaten
with the right hand. They're going to fight down the stretch of the round.
Tough round.
And Calzaghe tries to nail it down with a flurry at the finish. Jones with one more.
Throwing a lot of punches and missing a lot, but eventually he starts coming through with that straight left hand.
Calzaghe 20-0 edge in jabs. Jones had his moments in that round, but as you see, Harold Letterman gave it to Calzaghe. Looks to counter. Suddenly treating him with more respect.
Main punch him all off track because he's not really jabbed.
Is beginning to take its toll. Jones.
And also Calzaghe's rhythm. His in and out before you can time him which one.
And it doesn't look like it's having a tremendous effect on Joe.
No, Joe.
And that may be having an effect.
I'm quite sure Joe them have studied him very well and learned that that's the main punch.
Remember to turn the tactical equation in his favor. Takes a big up. Excellent punch by Jones. And maybe Jones has found another way to land his right hand. And Joe fights back for Roy Jones, if in fact Jones can.
Here you see Roy Jones land a beautiful time uppercut right through the defense of Calzaghe, and Joe least expected it. But beyond that punch, which was
see how many punches are thrown way more effectively.
Every round, Roy Jones lives one round, but other than that, to be winning this fight. I mean, I thought Roy done them in round 2, but after
more tactical, more selective here at the beginning of round 7.
There were opportunities remains.
And Joe Calzaghe is coming straight through with that 1-2.
And
good
so
counter left by Jones. Another
with sharp, clean punches. And
solid left
Joe
hand by Calzaghe. Follows it up with a couple of body shots. Another flurry by Calzaghe. Drives Jones back against the ropes. Roy may be momentarily hurt.
He's
to do more damage. Calzaghe with good counter shots, but Calzaghe is wearing Jones down with the constant assault. Again, the hand speed flurries by Calzaghe. Staring at Jones and watching the blood flow and going back to work.
And all this said, Roy is fighting valiantly here.
I never saw him knocked out until they got knocked out by Tava.
Has him into the corner. Jones is landing good, solid counter shots, and Calzaghe now is walking through them.
Yeah,
that is some cut. Only got it to open up.
There's the straight 1-2 that I was saying earlier in the round when I saw that Calzaghe was handing. He landed it straight in the eye, and I think that's what caused all of the damage to the eye. Perfect left hand, and you're going to see more of that.
More than half his punch in the fight, and he went out.
Applying this kind of pressure. Tarver at the time was not considered this kind of fighter. Roy was not this cut and this hurt in that fight.
His mindset, is that of a winner
I've ever seen him experience. They did not manage to do anything. Starts to seem to show a sense of desperation as his feet and
the Tarver fights in this third fight, there was a kind of a concession on Roy's part. I don't see him conceding here. He's still trying to win.
And we just got word from he's never been cut, and obviously nothing ever like this.
No, I've never seen him cut it.
Same thing as winning the fight, coming back to win. Still far from over. Depending on how long he can go with that cut.
Calzaghe has taken a little bit of apply the pressure again. To push Jones into corners, he's totally in control. And now the combinations and the shot. Calzaghe wrestling him into position, dodging the left hook, firing away again. He's swamping Jones with activity and
He didn't throw a lot of punches this round. He was placing his punches in show, but look like he was targeted to the left eye and placing his punches very selectively.
how much longer do you let Jones go with that cut?
Marciano's nose was hanging off his face. 7th round of the Ezra Charles fight. The ref said you have one more round. He knocked Charles out. Roy is almost 40 years old, facing a young basis.
But this is what he can do. As long as he was aggressive going forward,
Roy can punch with both hands.
But it's Joe who's doing the punching, and Roy who's having to cover up. Jones shaking
because it seemed like there's no one in the corner doing and get some coagulants or something.
He's been his own boss. No big name promoter. No 5 previous appearances in Madison Square Garden. He won them all. That in. Nowhere in the world is reality as cruel as in a boxing ring. He begins the 10th round with a couple of body shots.
the apron, and the cut is on the left-hand side. And I don't know why Alton Murchison doesn't get out. I don't wonder how much longer.
Alton Murchison, between round, he would try to land some hook.
Robin ended up plugging it up with Everett.
Thank you.
The Jones corner believes they're doing all the right things. Bottom line is they have not been effective in stopping the bleeding. And Jones is badly compromised in the ring. This started along about the 2nd round when the Swell, almost 40 years old, getting hit with
Joe Calzaghe. But he's been a competitive fight for him. Good stamina. Very difficult guy to fight, but very, very difficult to right there. See, he pulls back, and he'd always be a threat for Roy anyway.
And therein lies the danger of fighting well past your prime.
Yep.
That people speculate, well, I don't know, maybe Calzaghe would have beaten Roy at his best. After all, we just saw him beat him. No one.
Guys, I think would have been a problem always for him.
He lands in something huge and turns it all around by hurting Calzaghe. As any fighter of the last 10 years who's as cocky as Roy Jones, it's Joe. That's what Joe thinks is the right thing to do. Maybe he is in his way showing respect for Jones's great reputation and record by saying to him, all right, look, I'm not going to back. I think he's also, Frank.
He was doing this when Roy was
in the weight class in which Calzaghe accomplished a fighter.
Time. Impossible to tell what he's saying, but he's talking to Calzaghe the whole time. Probably.
Well, there's enough blood for this to be the St. Valentine's Day Massacre, and maybe Roy is pulling a bit of a Jake LaMotta here.
A reference to LaMotta versus Sugar Ray Robinson, and the line walks away. These pictures will be a part of ring history. A shirt soaked with blood. 50 split.
You know, you get away and ticked off the clock, so
from Las Vegas, one of the most is a top-flight judge and a real expert, and Terry O'Connor. So you don't expect
the upending.
Crowd wants Jones to try to do something.
He's got a lot of respect from a lot of fans tonight based on the fact he's really did nothing but enhance his respect from the fans still.
Yeah, but what would enhance it even more, I think, is if in this last going all out to win.
Yeah, and maybe Calzaghe shouldn't showboat quite so much. Fight, Jones. You've made your... Jones takes one last. Calzaghe drives him back with a couple of blows. Crowd rises for what might be the last time in the ring for both men. Just could be farewell.
Of Newbridge Wells, still light heavyweight champion of the world.
CompuBox ultimately lands 6 wins.
Well, to be honest, I didn't see the punch coming, hence why he went on the floor, man. It's a good shot. It's a good shot. You know, I thought deja vu.
Ricardo Lopez.